Hello students, this is our lecture number 5 and today I am going to discuss about how to take the user input, and then I'll talk about how to pass the argument as call by value and call by reference, and then at the end I am going to discuss about the uses of various uses of static keyword. So with the start of this class I am going to discuss firstly how to take the user input uh, with the help of the live demo. So as you all know that taking the user input is very important because we want to take the data at the runtime of the program. So user input means I want to take the data and initialize into the data members or the members of the class during the runtime of the program. Right. So for that I'm going to give a demo on it. So for example, I have a class called demo. So inside the class, I've got I could have various different members. Okay, so at the runtime itself, I'm going to use it. Okay, so first of all, I want to have the main class public static void main. I hope all of you are now by this time well versed with the uh, this format string AR JS, right? So this is my outline of the program wherein I'm going to demonstrate how to take the user input from the user, right? So there are various ways with which you can take the input from the user. One of the simplest way I'm going to discuss. So I'm going to take help of the class called scanner class. So there is a class called a scanner class whose which is defined in the package or which is defined in the software package of the Java utility. Okay, so if I want to use it any of the members of the class, I have to import that. Okay, import java dot util dot asterisk. Okay, since I given asterisk, so I can use any one of the methods or whatever is there inside this directory, okay, drive or folder, whatever it is, or package, I can use it. So one of the class that is inside the that is present inside the utility. Utility means utility is the scanner class. So the utility of this or the uses of this scanner class is to take the user input or is to facilitate the programmer for taking the user input during the runtime of the program. So this scanner is basically the name of the class which falls under utility. Okay. So for example, my name of the object is IP. Okay. I hope now you all know how to create the object of the class. So name of the class followed by name of the object equal to symbol new operator and then again scanner name of the class. Now this object has been created for this class considering the fact that I am going to take the user input from the standard input. So we all know that we have our standard input device and standard output device. Standard input device is our keyboard and the standard output device in our computer system is our monitor. So these are the two standard input. So if I write system dot in, then it will become it indicates that I am going to take the input from my standard input device like keyboard. Okay, there are various other input devices like mouse, right, scanner itself. Okay, there are so many other devices. So I'm assuming that I'm going to take the user input from the keyboard, so that's why I have written system.in. So system.in will help me out to take the or will help this object IP to read the data from the user through keyboard. Okay, so now this is one of the important things. This is scanner that you need how to use the scanner, how to create the output. So if you are reading the output from the user input device like keyboard, then you have to mention system.in. Okay, so this is one of the reason. Fine. Okay, now let us try to read our data from the user and display it. So for that, I'll display the message to the user system.out.println. So I basically want to demonstrate how to read the integer value. Okay, enter any, okay, integer value. So obviously users are going to enter the integer value. So this integer value, this message will be seen by the user of the program. Okay, so now how do I read it? Okay, so for reading the data, I have to take help of this object ip dot. Okay, so name of the object dot the name of the method that is discussed, that is described in the scanner class. Okay, I told you that scanner is name of the class. So inside the class there are various methods. So out of so many methods, one of the method for reading the integer value is next int. Okay, so next and then followed by that character t, I is in caps and remaining in small. Okay, so next int, so next int is the, this next int is the name of the method. It is the name of the method that is described or defined in the scanner class. So with the help of the next int, this method, I can read the data. Okay, so through this object I have read the data from the user. Now I want to store it. So for storing it, int x, say for example my x is an integer value. Okay, so in Java the advantage is you can then and then declare and use it. So I have declared here itself, I have used it for initialization as well. So now my job is to display it. So to display it, so the entered, the integer value is, the integer value is, okay, so I can use two SOP statement, or I can use the concatenation operation. This plus symbol is the concatenation operation in Java. At the same time also I can display it in text. So you get the answer as, say for example you have entered 5. So integer value is space 5. Okay, space 5 if I give you space. Fine. Okay, so this is how I can read the integer data from the user. Suppose you want to read the character. Suppose you want to read the character. So you ask the user, you display the message to the user, enter any character. Okay, enter any character, then obviously the user will be entering the character. Then you read the character. Okay, so to read the character from the user, you have to use the method that is declared inside the scanner, whose name is next char. Okay, next char. Understood? Okay. Now to display the information that whatever the user have entered the character, display it. Okay. Entered character is entered character is, okay. So here I have done a mistake. So input dot character, I have to store it in character variable. So char. I can use char x, okay, because this x and this will be different. Okay. So to make simplicity, to remove confusion, I am using the other variable name. So char c equals to ip dot next char. So next char is the method responsible for reading the character from the user, okay, and store it into the C. Okay, and C is declared as char. So obviously type has to be matching. So next char char, integer, it has to match. Okay, so next char, and you display it. Okay, the output. Now suppose you want to read a line from the user. I want to read a line or a string from the user. Okay, so to read a line or a string, okay, especially including the white space. Okay, you can check it out. Enter any string. I write a string. Okay, enter any string. Now to read a string from the user, the name of the method that I'm going to use is, next line. Next line is the name of the method that will help me out to read the data or to read the string including the white space. Please check it out. Okay, so now I want to store that white space, that string, okay, including white space, into a variable. So Java supports one very important that I'm talking about right now. So one of the very important data format that Java supports is string. Okay, string. It's not the data type. Okay, it's not the data type. I told you. It's the name of the class. Okay, so the detail we'll be discussing later on. String is the with the help of this class, I can store the string in the str directly like this. So str is basically the object of this class string. Okay. So let us not discuss much about the string because I'm going to discuss in my upcoming class. So to read a string, in short, okay, to read a string from the user, you can use next line. Since it is a string, so the storing variable also should have that property capable enough to store the string including the white space. Okay. So now to display the output. Okay. So to display the output, entered string is str. So str is basically the object of this class str. Okay. Unlike this and this. So I hope I have made it clear. So you can try this out program, okay, on your own by typing on it. Okay. So we'll move forward. So this is my example that I've already shown you. Uh, okay, so I've taken help of the scanner class which is there in the which is defined in the util package or folder. We in Java we generally call it a package. Okay, package is something like folder where all the classes are there, and inside the class all the methods are there. So we have a scanner class defined in the in the util class, okay, a util package. Okay, and inside the class scanner, we have got several functions like method like next car, next line, etc., etc. So these are the various commonly used methods for reading the user data during the runtime. Likewise, similarly, we have so many other functions that may be applicable to you, which you can have a look on it. Like for example, float, double, byte, there are boolean. So there are so many. Okay, I have listed only few of them so that it becomes easy for you to understand and you can use it accordingly. So this is all about how to read the user data from the how to read the user data from the during the runtime of the program. So you can use it. So now here onwards you need to rely on compile time input. You can obviously use the constructor, okay, during the object creation, but sometimes it might require that you want to insert the data or read the data from the user during the runtime of the program for dynamic environment. So obviously you can use this information. Okay. So next topic is our call by value and call by reference. And during the initiation of my this session, I told you that there were some major difference between the C, C++, and Java. Okay? So one of the important thing in the Java is security. Right? Security. You are not allowed in Java. You are not allowed to directly access the memory locations of the computer using the indirectional operator like asterisk star. Okay, so which is generally used in C and C++. That is allowed. However, in Java, you cannot use asterisk or indirectional operator or a pointer to the to refer to the memory location directly. So but we need to understand, okay, how can we perform the call by reference, okay, because there is a problem. Okay, you all know what is the problem associated with call by value and call by reference. So for convenience and for kind of revision, I'm going to say, suppose whenever you pass any object, okay, suppose whenever you pass any values in the subroutine, when you pass any values in the subroutine and you try to change or update the value in the subroutine, then it is not going to make the effect on the actual argument, right? So that is all about the call by value. I'll not dictate more on it, you all know in advance, okay, but how can I achieve call by reference without without using the ampersand symbol and asterisk symbol? How can I use it so that whenever you pass any information into the subroutine and whenever you update the content in the subroutine or data, whenever you update data in the subroutine or variable information in the subroutine, it has to get reflected. Okay, so changes has to be made in the actual parameter. Okay, in the actual parameter, the changes has to be made. So how can we achieve this? Okay, so we'll discuss with the help of the example. Okay, so for a recap only, suppose I have got two integer variable declared over here, maybe instance variable int I and int j, okay, or int a or b, okay. Instead of I and j, you can have a and b also if we are declared as and instance variable. So there is a class called test, there is a method called void by underscore value which takes two argument. So this is my formal argument and this is my actual argument a and b. Okay, so whatever you are getting in ij will get multiplied with 2 and will get updated accordingly, right? So this is my main function phvm declared inside the class called call by value. So I have created the object ob. Okay, I have created the object of ob of this type test. Okay? Then I have declared two integer variable a and b with 15 and 20 respectively. Then I have tried to display it. Okay, so I have used the concatenation operation plus symbol to display everything in the one line. So this statement SOP before a and b will be displaying the answer as before a and b 15 and 20. So this says that a and b have the value 15 and 20 respectively. Then after that you invoke the method by value with the help of the object. Okay? By value, and then you will supply the a and b. So a and b is my actual parameter and the control will go over here. So a will get copied in I, b value will get copied in j, and this I and j is called to be a formal parameter. Now whenever you update anything in the I and j, okay, whenever you update here I goes to I into 2, so you are updating in the same location in the formal parameter itself. Okay, so when you try to update it and you try to display a and b, it is not going to make any effect on the a and b memory location because this a and b are distinct from I and j that is over here. So that is the problem encountered in the call by value. So reflection or the updation made in the subgrouping is not affected in the is not affected to the actual parameter. So that's why sometimes we work with the addresses. Okay, that is known as call by reference method. Okay, so here in the call by reference method you have a class called test which wherein I have declared two instance variable a and b, and there is a constructor. This is not the method, this is name of the constructor, as it doesn't have return type, and the name of the method is same as that name of the class test and test, and it takes two arguments. So basically it is a constructor of type. This is the constructor of type argument, a parameterized constructor. I have not written over here the default constructor, you can add it on your own. Next is my method, okay, normal method, which takes input as the object. So how to read the object, how to return the object, I have discussed in my earlier video, so you can refer it. So here in this example, in this method, my parameter is the object. My parameter is the object of the class type test. Okay, O is the name of the object. Okay, and it has some definition. This is my call by another class, call by reference class, wherein I have defined the main program. Inside the main program I have created the object ob by invoking a parameterized constructor with value 15 and 20. So 15 and 20 will go to I and j location, 15 will go to I and 20 will go to j, and furthermore inside the constructor the I and j will get initialized to a and b respectively with value 15 and 20. So a will take 15 and b will take 20, right? So then after that you have invoked the call by method. Okay, so now whenever you have created the object test ob equals to new test 15 comma 20, this control will go to the constructor. Further a and b will get initialized with 15 and 20 respectively. Okay, so I'll just show you how does it looks. Okay, so you have got project, so you have got a and b pertaining to object OV. Okay, you can refer it pertaining to object OV. Okay, A and B is there. So A has the value 15 and B has the value 20. Okay, so altogether this memory is given to OV object. Fine. Okay, so now you invoke this method by ref, okay, by supplying this object ob. So now this ob is saying to by ref. Okay, so now by underscore ref will be referring this object as a parameter, right, as a parameter ob. You've seen it. Okay. Now you go back the control to over here. So this is my call by reference. So O object is passed out here. So basically OB again to this same location. O will also be referring it. Now O dot A equals to O dot A into 2. O dot A into 2 equals to O dot. Update the in the same location. Whatever is the value in the A multiplied by 2. Okay. So whatever is in A, it's 15. O dot A. O dot A is 15. That is this. Okay. O dot A means this. Right. So multiply it by 2 and update it in the same location. So basically 30. So 30 will be the updated value, and similarly you can perform division. So now later on when you display it, okay, see updation has already been made. OB dot A will give you 30. O dot A also will give you 30. So that's how the call by reference works. Okay. I hope I had made it clear the difference between the call by value and call by reference. So basically, in short, one line, if I have to perform the call by reference, or if I have to illustrate the call by reference, then we have to send the object as the parameter to the subroutine or to the member functions. Okay. So static keyword. Okay, static is the last topic of today's lecture. So we all have heard about this static keyword earlier, like for example in case of PSVM. So if you refer my any other previous program, okay, if you refer my any other previous program, like for example this, okay. So let us consider a simple example. In this example, you can see my PSVM, public static void main, public static void main. Okay. So whenever I want to use this main, I have not created anywhere the object with call underscore by underscore val. So what does it mean? Okay, what does it mean? So it means that if any method is declared as a static method, you need not create the object for that. Okay, so whenever we create the object means it is directly related with the memory. So static keyword in Java is mainly associated for memory management because sometimes it Java allows us to use memory without creating the object. Okay, don't think that, okay, you should not think that it is violating the rules of pure object oriented programming. So with the help of the static keyword, it is trying to perform the some kind of memory management. So what kind of memory management it is trying to perform? It is trying to perform that kind of memory management. It helps us to use the memory without creating the object. That kind of help it is providing to us. So we can apply the static keyword in Java program to a variable. Okay, we can apply the static keyword to a variable. We can apply static keyword to a method. We can apply static keyword to a block. Okay, or even a nested class. So now what happens? Okay, what happens when we try to write on static int a or static void name of the method, etc., etc. Okay, so like that, what happens? So we'll see this with the help of the example. So just to summarize, an example of static member that we have already used is the main method. So whenever we have used a main method inside any class, we have never created the object of that class because we have declared the main method as we have created the main method as static, or we have specified main method as static. So we need not create the object of that class to invoke the main method. It automatically is invoked. Okay. So now next is whenever we try to declare a member as a static, then it can be accessed before any object of this class is created without reference. So I can declare the any members as the static data members. Okay. So I just want to add one very important point with respect to static data member. Okay. Suppose I have a class. Okay. Suppose I have a class inside which I have got two data members. One is my static int x equals to 5, suppose, okay, and int a. Okay, so this is my the member of the class, and I may have some many other information. Okay, uh, Now to create the object, say for example, this is my another class or class demo, okay, and inside which I've got a main class psvm and some informations are there. So inside which I'm going to mention the, yeah, object. Okay, so here I'm going to create the object. Here in this location I'm going to create the object. Now suppose I create the object like this of this class type. Okay, I forgot to specify the name of the class. So here the name, this name of the class is ABC. Okay, ABC is the name of the class. Okay, so this curly braces should not have been there. Okay, so I'll just crop it. Okay, fine. See, class ABC static int x. Okay, now I want to create the object of this class ABC. Okay, how do I create it? So name of the class followed by ob1 equals to new. Okay, ABC and parenthesis, right? Similarly, I want to create again. Okay, I want to create again another object 2 ob2 like this. Okay. Now whenever this statement gets executed, ob1 will be referring to memory location, first for x with value 5, another one for a. Okay. Now in the second statement you have created ob2. Okay. Now ob2 will have a separate copy of a, but will have same copy of x, just because x is declared as static. So it acts kind of a global variable. Okay, so this is one thing. It acts as a kind of a global variable, and I can access the static data member with the help of the name of the class. Okay, I need not necessarily create the object of this class to invoke or to use this x. Need not. I can even directly invoke without creating the object. I can access x. Okay, that's the property of the static data member. So one thing. Next thing is static method. Okay, static method means example is the main method. Okay, so you can have any other method as a static also, but whenever you declare you specify any method as a static method, it indicates that without creating the object you can invoke that method. So how? With the help of the name of the class dot name of the method. Okay, similarly for static data member also, just now I told you name of the class dot data member. So in our example, abc dot x will be the solution for it. Okay, so this is how we can use the static keyword associate with two static data member and static method. Now static block. Okay, static block has separate way of representation. We'll see in the example. So basically the static block is used to initialize the static variable data member. It is generally invoked before the object of the corresponding class is created. Okay, so we have a lot of information about these three. I'll just read it out. Okay? Static variable is used to refer common property of all the objects. Common property means act as a global variable. So static variable gets memory only once in the class array at the time of class loading. So obviously, if efficient memory management, you will not have separate copy of it. I have already discussed for the same. Static method. Next, I will talk about static method rather than block. Okay, static method means so method belonging to the class rather than the object of the class. Static method can be invoked without creating the instance of the class. Okay, static method can access static data member and change its value, obviously. Okay, and so on. So you cannot refer this as a super keyword, this keyword. You will not understand this because we have not studied this and super. We'll discuss in our upcoming class. Okay. This is one thing. Okay, now coming to the static block. Static block is used to initialize the static data member. and these blocks are executed before main method are loaded. Okay, before main method are loaded. So we'll see the example. So you can see there is a class called use static. So there is a static data member declared order in A is the static data member and B is also a static data member. Now there is static method. Okay, there is a static method. So wherein you have supplied with the one integer x local variable and you display the x, a and b. Okay, and there is a static. This is a static block. You can see the looks of this static block is different from whatever we have seen so far. So just you have written static keyword and then curly braces and some statements, right? So as I told you in the in my previous slide, that static block is generally loaded first before main is loaded. Okay, before main is loaded. Okay, and similarly, static data member is also initialized before the object is created or before it is loaded. Main method is loaded. So when this statement gets executed, okay, or before, when you compile it, okay, and when you compile it, so you compile GCC space, say for example, you use static.java, and after that after compiling you give the execution command, okay, Java use static, okay, assuming the name of the class is use static. Okay. Now when you give the execute command, initially before main methods get loaded, static data member will get memory along with this. Okay, so which means that first what will happen, a will have value 3. First what will happen, a will have value 3. Okay, because it is a static data member, a will have value 3 and after the static block is executed. So 3 into 4 will be b. Okay, similarly I have got the value of b also, not only a will have the value 3 but b, okay, a memory will be reserved. I don't know what will be the value, maybe a null. Okay, I think it's a null, so null 0 whatever it is, but a memory will be reserved for a and b for with the help of this statement. Both of them are static. Then after that static block, so b will be initialized with whatever is the value of a into 4. So 2 into 4, 3 into 4 is 12. Okay, so this thing will happen before main class gets loaded. Okay, so after happening that main class will get loaded up, math function will be invoked, 42 is supplied to x, then after that you will see this. Okay, so basically you will see system.out.println x. Okay, so you will see 42 for this statement, and for this statement a you will see 3, for this statement b you will see as 12. So that will be the output. Okay, so that's all for today. So I hope I made it clear the uses of static keyword towards variables, methods and blocks. Okay, so just to summarize you, okay, we have discussed in today's class how to take the user input, how to perform the call by value and call by reference, and the various uses of static keyword. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please do post in our next immediate session. Thank you so much.